At my ex's house, his dad died. Don't be jealous. I remember staring at that text, my thumb hovering over the screen, my pulse in my ears. At my ex's house, his dad died. Don't be jealous. Jealous. That was her concern. Not why she was at her ex-boyfriend's house in the first place. Not why she hadn't mentioned a single thing about this until now, 3 hours after she left for her late-night errand. I typed back slowly. My condolences. And then I stared at the 3 dots that popped up, then disappeared, then popped up again, and vanished once more. She didn't reply. That night I didn't sleep. I lay there with the glow of my phone lighting the dark, my mind unraveling every thread of trust we'd woven over 7 years of marriage. Something about that message gnawed at me, not just the situation but the way it was worded. Casual, almost dismissive, as if she were scolding me in advance for even daring to feel uncomfortable. At 3:17 a.m., I opened the obituaries. There was no mention of any death. Not for that surname. Not in our city. Not in the surrounding counties. The next morning, Emily waltzed in like nothing had happened. Her hair smelled like someone else's cologne, faint, woody, and not mine. "Morning," she said, setting her purse down. "Morning." My voice was flat, but she didn't seem to notice. "Coffee?" "Sure." She poured herself a cup first. Always a tell with her. When she was hiding something, she treated me like background noise, not a partner. "So, how was it?" I asked finally, watching her stir cream into her mug. She paused for half a heartbeat. Sad. Awkward. His mom was crying. I didn't want to leave them like that. Who else was there? Just family. A couple of his old friends. You know, nothing big. He nodded. "Strange," I said almost offhandedly. "I looked up the obituaries last night. Didn't see anything." Her hand froze on the spoon. Just for a second. But I saw it. "Oh, they probably haven't posted it yet," she said quickly. "You know how those things go." She took a sip, avoiding my eyes. I should have let it go. That's what I told myself for the next 2 days. That maybe I was being paranoid, that grief is messy, that maybe her ex really had lost his father and I was being the suspicious, insecure husband. But I couldn't shake it. On the 3rd day, I did something I never imagined doing in my life. I sent flowers. Sympathy bouquet. White lilies and blue delphiniums. The kind you send when you want to say, "I'm sorry for your loss." I wrote the card. "From both of us. Our thoughts are with you." And I sent it to the address I remembered from years ago. Her ex's house, the same one she used to drive past when we were first dating, pretending she didn't still know the way. 2 days later I got a call. "Hello. Hi, this is Ryan, right? Emily's husband." "Yes." "Who is this?" This is Mark. Listen, I got these flowers and I don't know if it's some kind of mistake, but my dad's fine." I stood there in the living room, heart thudding so hard I could hear it. "He's alive." "Yeah, he's in the kitchen right now asking who sent them." "Is this some kind of joke?" "No," I said quietly. "Not a joke." That night, when Emily came home, she found me sitting at the kitchen table. The vase of returned flowers sat between us, the sympathy card leaning against it. She froze. "Where did you get those?" "I sent them," I said evenly. "To his house." Her face went pale. "Why would you?" "Because you told me his dad died." Silence. Just the hum of the fridge and the pounding of my pulse. I can explain," she whispered. "I'm sure you can," I said. "But I want the truth this time. Not some half-baked lie wrapped in pity." She sank into the chair across from me, fingers twisting the hem of her sleeve. "Okay," she said finally, eyes fixed on the table. "I wasn't there because of his dad." My jaw tightened. "I went because he called me," she went on. "He said he was in a bad place, that he needed someone to talk to. We've been texting for a while. Just as friends, I swear." I laughed, a hollow, bitter sound. "Friends. At midnight. Sneaking off, lying to me, making up a death. It wasn't like that, she snapped, then bit her lip. I didn't want you to get the wrong idea. The wrong idea. Emily, you gave me every reason to get the right idea. The next days were a blur of tears, shouting, and long, silent meals where the distance between us felt like a canyon. She insisted nothing physical had happened. I wanted to believe her. But the trust, the thing we had built our whole life on, was cracked like glass hit with a hammer. I found the messages eventually. She didn't even bother deleting them. Late-night texts, jokes they used to share, photos of coffee cups, the kind only two people with an inside joke would send. And one 3 weeks ago. Sometimes I wonder how life would have been if we stayed together. His reply. There's still time. I confronted her again. You weren't just a shoulder to cry on, I said, voice low. She looked at me with red-rimmed eyes. No, but I didn't sleep with him. I swear to you, Ryan. I missed who I used to be with him. Before everything got so ordinary. There it was. The knife not in the back but straight through the heart. Ordinary, I repeated. So that's what we are now. Boring. Predictable. Disposable. I didn't mean it like that, she whispered. You just lied. To my face. Used a man's father's death as a cover story so you could spend the night with your ex. We started counseling after that. Or at least she did. I went twice, sat there like a stone, and realized something during those sessions. I didn't want to fix this. Not anymore. Because betrayal isn't just the act. It's the corrosion that comes after. The way you start to doubt every smile, every I love you, every late night at work. 2 months later I moved out. She cried, begged me to stay, promised she'd cut him off completely. Maybe she did. But it didn't matter anymore. The man I was before that text, the man who trusted her enough not to question where she went, who believed in her word like gospel. He was gone. The last message she sent me, a week after the papers were signed, was simple. I'm sorry for everything. I hope one day you can forgive me. I didn't reply. Not because I hated her, though for a while I did. But because forgiveness isn't a text you send back. It's a quiet, lonely thing that either grows in the dark or dies there. Months have passed since then. Sometimes I still wake up at night, reaching for the warmth that isn't there anymore. Sometimes I catch myself wondering if it could have been different. If I'd sent those flowers and found a grieving family instead of a living, breathing father. But most of the time I just feel free. Because betrayal doesn't just break you. Sets you loose. From the illusion. From the lies. From the comfort that was already crumbling. And now, when my phone buzzes at 3 a.m., I don't brace for the worst. I just turn it off, roll over, and let the silence hold me instead.